Hey everybody, this is the Fiery Joker. Wow. We just saw A Quiet Place.
It was very quiet, and then it wasn't.
It was one of the most unique horror films I have ever seen.
It was fun. It reminded me of like Tremors,
Does
except
everything remind us of Tremors?
this one reminded me of like Tremors, except the monsters could be on the ground. Like, same problem, they could hear you and hunt you, but they weren't underground. They lived in the same territory as people. They got, super armor. You saw you saw from the newspaper clippings that these things had super armor in the military and couldn't figure it out. And
Yeah, and this is a very different kind of horror movie because it kind of takes that I Am Legend approach, and the world's already done. The world's already kaput, and it's just a bunch of people trying to survive.
yeah, it's sort of post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
More of dystopian.
It's
like right in between. It's like there's definitely a lot of survivors, but they all have to shut up in order to stay alive. Anyone drops the ball, literally drops the ball, that's it. You're dead. The monsters hone in on the sound. They don't leave until they find a kill.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see how these monsters have changed the society. It's like people are walking barefoot. Everyone knows American Sign Language.
Everyone walks on sand. So you've got these little mini people roads with just sand trails. You've got, you keep in touch with the community by setting bonfires at night. The rest of the community lets you know that they're still there by also setting bonfires at night. You have to have all these different contingencies just in case someone, messes up, and then
like the little red light signals.
Yeah. The fireworks, monsters in your house.
Yeah, this was a very perilous movie. It starts out with the wife pregnant, and she is a month away from delivering her baby, and we're just like, oh no.
Yeah.
And it seemed like they were prepared,
They were. It's just,
everything happened at the worst possible time.
Yeah. Several people dropped the ball that time.
Yeah.
On the bright side, because more than one person dropped the ball, the creatures were a little bit confused about where to go, so they were going back and forth. And it was just, people were getting unlucky that night.
Yeah, and it was interesting to see this movie, right at the beginning, showed that it did not give a darn about who died. It's like, no one was safe.
To be fair,
it started out killing a kid.
Yeah, to be fair though, that was probably the dumbest kid. I mean, you're
Darwin Award. He got the Darwin Award.
You're raised knowing that sound equals you die, all right, and then your toy suddenly starts you live in a completely quiet environment. How jarring would that be to suddenly have a toy suddenly start making noise? My reflex reaction would be to throw the item away, alright, and get away from it because it suddenly started making noise. But no, the kid's like, it's making noise. I'm totally okay with this. Why is my dad running to me like I'm about to die? Oh, wait, right!
Smack. And then that kid was so dumb.
I'm like, no.
No kid would. We
have
have a little bit of trouble believing that the kid would be that dumb.
I mean, the kid was 4, and I'm like, okay, I get that at that age, they can be, some of them can be pretty dumb. I've met a few of them. But when it comes to survival, and comprehension and like, I don't know.
Being told that don't make noise, don't make noise, and then just
I don't know. And I'm like,
yeah.
it's just like, I don't even know why the kid would even grab the batteries. I mean, like, you have to go through the whole thought process, and it's just like,
yeah.
It's like,
yeah, maybe we're being too harsh, but that's just
honest. Maybe we are being too harsh on this kid, because it's like the age group of kids I'm used to dealing with are just a tiny bit older than that. All right, but I have a lot more I guess I just have a lot more confidence in kids, especially when it comes to rules and survival, because.
Yeah, but that's a nitpick. Because this was honestly a really great film. It's just a tiny little.
It was fun. It was just that one scene.
Yeah.
That
this mama. Oh my gosh, this mama was.
She was
hardcore.
Like Sigourney Weaver hardcore.
Yeah. Like. Oh my gosh.
There was again, going back to that one scene, I noticed another big problem with that one scene. Well, right before the kid got snatched, we got a full frontal view of the whole monster.
I don't know. It was pretty blurry.
It was pretty blurry, but still, that dropped the scare factor for me.
It didn't drop the scare factor for me at all. It's just like, I'm just looking at I thought it was blurry enough and it was quick enough that you didn't really.
I feel like it would have been a lot more terrifying not even getting to know the size and shape of the monster. The more you know, the less you have to fear. All right? The less you know, the more you have to fear, because you don't know what it is to fear. It's the unknown factor, and for me, they cut out a lot of their unknown with that scene. They could have really, I feel like they could have amped up. They missed. I thought it was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, you're kind of repeating yourself, but.
I know, it was just ending. Missed opportunity.
Yeah. I felt I was fine without it, but. Yeah, it's. I really did like the design of these creatures. It was like. It's so. It's like, even though like the body structure felt a lot like a Dead Space necromorph, it's the head shape. It's like what they did with the head and the ear design. It was very, very unique.
Yeah. And then when they find, when they find the Deus Ex Machina.
Oh my gosh, that freaking ending! That was the best way to end it.
They check out the gun to the Deus Ex Machina. So they at least started they at least set up, the thing that saved everyone right at the last minute. But I mean, on one hand, I'm like, you would have thought someone else would have found this weakness at some point. I mean, they did find out that they're primarily hunting by sound, so you would have thought, try to, turn...
Overwhelm it?
Try to do something with that. I mean, we just saw the Daredevil versus Nightwing fight, and it's like, what was his go-to, what was his go-to to the explicitness? Overwhelm that one sense that he used.
Yeah.
Alright, well, it's like, okay. You think there would be some comic book nerds in the basement somewhere thinking, so they only hunt by sound. I wonder if we can use that. It's like, let's try high frequency like dog whistles or something like that. You know. You think someone would have tried something, try to catch one of these things and, experiment on it.
Catching one of these things, I highly doubt that was possible.
I don't know. Get a thick enough cage full of concrete or just build something that's like bunker safe. Lure it in, drop the cage, and then just.
Well, it's kind of implied, Germo, that these things they didn't. It happened so fast that they didn't really have a chance.
I wouldn't know. They left a lot unsaid.
Yeah, they did leave a lot unsaid, but at the same time, there's not a lot that needed to be said because a lot of this movie was about the family, and yeah, this movie got very depressing. What was very depressing and melancholy.
It had a very mellow, not just melancholy. It was just a very mellow, quiet, somber.
Yeah.
I think that's the right word, somber.
Yeah.
The movie was very somber. So
it's interesting to see this family just trying to survive and like learning how they've adapted to this this world, and
there were a lot of like interesting gimmicks, a lot of very interesting details. There's like, oh, I see. You have to
Yeah, they clearly put a lot of thought into this movie. They clearly put a lot of thought into it, and it was just.
I wonder if they were eating. They lived on a farm surrounded by corn. I wonder if they were able to eat the corn, because it's like, I don't think you could harvest that with those creatures around because that would make so much noise.
Mm-hmm.
You saw that they were eating the fish, so I'm like, was that all they were eating?
I don't know. Fish has a lot of nutrients in it.
I mean, they could get the rest from like the pharmacy and stuff like that they were visiting.
Yeah, they could, but yeah, it's like like Eskimos, man. They eat only fish.
I mean, if that's all they're eating, though, you also saw they were baking their own bread too.
Yeah, a little bit, but it was interesting to. It was interesting to see like all the little tiny scares, like all the little build-ups. I thought those were really good. Like I'm actually surprised that the raccoons didn't figure out being quiet yet.
I'm surprised they didn't get knocked. I'm surprised the opposite. I'm surprised the raccoons didn't get all taken out yet. I'm surprised raccoons are not extinct. I mean, you honestly think that if people were learning too slowly to shut the heck up or you get killed, that the animals would figure it out quicker? Most animals' show of force and natural defense is to make more noise and bare its teeth and bark and roar.
But one part that I think was the most interesting thing about this movie is it was not a traditional 3-act movie.
No. It only had 2 acts.
Yeah.
It had the build up and then it started off with the build up. And then it concluded with the climax.
Yeah, it was
really short. It was only an hour.
Yeah, but that's really all I needed, I suppose.
I guess. I get to go to bed on time. Ish.
Alright, so I think my final score, this is gonna be a 9 out of 10. I'm giving it a solid A minus. Cause this very, very well done movie.
In association with Michael Bay.
Yeah, that's where we paused it.
And only one explosion. And it was tiny. Progress, man.
Alright, well, that's about it for us. Thank you all for joining us on this Nights of Frights. Take care.
Bye.